Speaking of wanting to see more in different types of games and what we need more of and stuff like that. What's your topic for us, Jordan?
Yeah, so that is my topic. What type of games we need more of? Now, this is probably going to be focused on genre, but it could be the example I gave earlier outside of genre would be, if you're talking about the Order 1886 and you're saying we need more games with this cyberpunk style sci-fi stuff, or um, for me, big one is the fact that I think we need more superhero games. I'm really surprised at the
Completely
lack of
agree with you.
superhero games.
100%.
Now we've got, we can just name off a few of the best franchises. Um, Obviously, Batman Arkham series is up there. Obviously, Infamous is up there. Um, for me, Gravity Rush is actually a really, really great superhero game, as well as Sunset Overdrive. But those aren't licensed, even though Infamous isn't either. But yeah, I'm actually surprised at the lack of superhero games. I know one of the reasons why is because they could just make free to play versions and get you to buy a bunch more heroes than you would if you were just playing a console game. So Marvel and DC both have their own free to play online MMO versions. But I'm talking about a single player story, something like what Insomniac is doing with Spider Man currently. Stuff like that. I would love to see more superhero games, and I'd love to see more superheroes that get created for games, because a lot of people say they really like Cole in Infamous. I think he's kind of just a dumb piece of shit. Like, there's not really anything that's tying me to that character or his stupid girlfriend or his stupid best friend. They're fine. Like, Zeke's a funny guy or whatever, but they're definitely not iconic, and neither is Delson. So I would love, especially for Infamous, to give us a hero that, like, you'd want to read a comic about this person. You'd want to watch an animated movie or a live action film about this person. So I'd like to see that more. It would be really cool if they focused more on the hero itself in that series. But it'd also just be cool if we had, like, Harley Quinn in the Batman universe came from Batman the Animated Series. She didn't start in the comics or in the movies. She started in the animated series, so it'd be cool if in other ways we had, like, a Marvel hero that had started in his own video game, and that's how he
That'd be cool.
came into the Marvel universe. So stuff like that. What about you guys?
So, I think, Marvel has a brand new dedication to video games. They said this earlier this year.
Yeah, so we're gonna get more.
Yeah,
in the
and
future.
it seems like they're taking the approach and level of care that they have with their movies, which is phenomenal, because if that's any indication, we're going to have great games. They already have their deal in place with Telltale. Obviously, the Batman game is now, and they already have a Marvel game in the works. I think what you meant by superhero games are, more
Third
like...
person action
Yeah.
adventure.
So I don't really count those either. And I think the problem we have with not getting very interesting superhero games that aren't licensed is because there isn't licensed superhero games on consoles. So, for instance, how would I put this? So, Call of Duty and Battlefield sell every year, or whenever they come out, and they sell huge numbers. Those shooters being so big actually benefits smaller games that are also shooters, because people love shooting games and they're like, well, I want to try out these other games. I love these games so much. Maybe this will kind of, scratch that itch. That's why I played Metro Last Light. I didn't play 2033. I love shooters, and I picked it up on a whim. That's one of my favorite games ever. I love Metro Last Light so much. And it's because there was such a strong case for shooters in the video game medium. And I think the biggest thing is we don't have enough superhero games to justify companies taking risks with a superhero game. We have the Infamous and we have these games, but I think the way it looks is game developers aren't willing to take that risk. So these big companies like Marvel and DC are like, well, then why should we? And it's vice versa. It's like, well, Marvel and DC aren't willing to take these risks, so why as us as a developer should we spend creative effort making a superhero game if the big dogs aren't even trying to do it? I think Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's crazy though, because that wasn't always the case. Going back to, like, PS2 generation, there were tons of superhero games. There was a Justice League game back then. Of course, we have Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2 last gen. I think there used to be a lot more, especially because they would just shit them out, and it would be based off of this animated series or based off of this Spider-Man movie or whatever, but the fact that we don't get, licensed games off of like the Marvel movies that are coming out nowadays or anything like that, I get the fact that a lot of it would be shovelware, but we would be getting those other games that you could, you just finished Infamous Second Son and you're like, oh, I want another great superhero game, and I guess you could go play Amazing Spider-Man 2 or something like that. There's not a whole lot of choices to spread out after the big ones.
I guarantee you, next year at E3 there will be a Xbox exclusive Marvel game. I guarantee it. Obviously Sony owns the movie rights to Spider-Man, but they don't actually own the video game rights to Spider-Man. But I think
what if they just fucked up Fantastic Four really bad last year in the movie? What if we were just talking about it'd be cool if there was a hero that started in a video game? This is obviously not their start, but it'd be cool if that was the way that Marvel was like, how the fuck are we going to fix Fantastic Four in people's minds? Like, people hate them now because of these awful movies.
Yeah.
And that could be your way to, like, rebrand Fantastic Four, bring them back into Marvel Studios under the movie brand, and then make a really cool, Xbox game or whatever.
Or, like, I think it'd be interesting if there was a game that they structured where it's kind of like so Mass Effect is customizable, but there is one character, it's Shepard, right? It could be female, it could be male, but it is Shepard. It'd be interesting to me if they did that kind of thing with a superhero game in the Marvel universe and the Warner and the DC universe, where it's like there is a character, he has a specific name, you can customize him a bit to make him look specifically how you want, but they do have their own arc, and that could be the start of the character. That'd be very interesting.
I feel like that's already going on, like DC Universe Online and stuff like that.
Yeah, but it'd
be cool if it was like, you can only be this one character, but you can be any different version. So you can be Spider-Man with the Venom suit, you can be Spider-Man Miles Morales, you can be Spider-Man Peter Parker. That would be cool to me.
Yeah. I 100% agree with you, though, that we do need more superhero games in general. As far as other games, we definitely need a bigger resurgence of horror games, and we're kind of seeing that. We're seeing that with Resident Evil 7 returning to its roots. We have Outlast 2 coming out. We have, obviously, Slenderman. We have Evil Within 2, which is possibly in the works. So we do have a kind of a light resurgence of horror, but I would like to see a deeper dive. Like, Dead Space needs to come back. That's not a type of game, but that's a franchise. But as far as other games we need more of, I think as far as sports, I think the licensing thing needs to go away. I think there should be more competition there. NBA is the only one that doesn't have an exclusive license with the company. And that's why the NBA 2K games are such a good product, because they had to compete with NBA Live, and that's why NBA Live is so bad. But like, that would make Madden better. That would make the hockey games better, which was terrible last year, I believe. It didn't even have like online or something.
They made a weird choice. They took out several game modes.
Yeah, NCAA.
The game itself was still fine. It was probably a little bit better, but they took out a lot of modes, and people are like scratching their heads, like, why would they?
The best video game sports franchise to me is NCAA football, and that had to go away due to the collegiate.
I understand.
Yeah. I wish they would work out some deal, because I love the college football games. But, like, I really wish what we need more of is more diversity in sports games, is basically what I'm saying. There needs to go away with the licenses, and we need to breed competition, because competition is best for the consumer. And we're getting, like I said, I bought Madden this week, and I love it. But I know that if it was competing with somebody else making an NFL game, it would be a better product. So as far as games that we need more of, we need more diverse sports games, is what I'm trying to say there.
Okay,
and
that's a good point.
You need a baseball game on Xbox, right? Because does that even exist?
That's crazy that isn't
that's
a
so
thing.
Crazy. That's fucked up.
Like, I think we got like RBI baseball or some.
Yeah, that's like some bullshit ass, like not even close to the real thing. Like,
because the show is a fantastic product. Oh yeah.
I can't believe Sony has kept this grip, exclusive grip on MLB baseball. I think it's because of the fact that of the big three sports in America, baseball, basketball, football, baseball is the most niche of the three.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know.
That's why PlayStation can keep that going, I think.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if Xbox would be willing. They probably tested the numbers to see if it's worth it, and baseball isn't. It's a dying sport kind of in the United States. You know, NBA is growing at a phenomenal rate. The NFL is the number one sports market, I think, in the United States. It makes hand over fist. So I don't know if it's necessarily worth it for Xbox. Obviously, there's a ton of baseball fans that should be able to play it on Xbox, but I don't know if it's a good business investment, you know?
The kind of games that I wish there was more of nowadays. This was an easy answer as soon as the topic came up. Couch co-op games. Where are they? What on PS4 can I play with someone else sitting next to me? Besides sports games.
Well, this
right?
goes to the metric, like the whole metrics argument of like,
play 'em.
does it justify, you know, having it? I think a lot of times companies see it and like not a lot of people use it, so they're like, yeah, you know.
And I definitely think it would be so tough for anyone besides Nintendo to come out with a game that was really just built around couch co-op.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of options out there you could do. I mean, I'm not a developer. I mean, these guys are creative. Like, they can figure this out. I'm sure a lot of them want to. I'm sure there's a lot of studios that want to make a couch co-op game, but the publishers are like, nah, that doesn't really sell or whatever. So
yeah, there's ways to do it. Plenty of ways to do it, but how many ways to do it are there that would actually be viable and sell in today's market? I just don't see it happening.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm like killing for something on PS4 that me and Emily can play like together. Because like when we play GTA, there's always, whenever you're like doing that, there's always that dissonance of like someone's playing and the other one's watching, and you're trying to help them, but you can't explain it. You know what I mean? You have to be like, give me the controller. I just have to do it myself.
Does Overcooked have couch co-op?
I think so. I think that's a good one, but
I mean, they're out there. You know, we could give you a list or whatever, but
I mean, that's the one
sucks
reason
that there's not even options really.
Yeah, that's really the biggest reason besides Breath of the Wild that I want to get an NX is that I know there's going to be some
Nintendo
really
does
good...
couch co-op. Yeah,
exactly. So
Nintendo is still the place where you can go to hang out with your friends and play a game together in the same place. Anytime you hear about people getting together to play video games, it's let's play kart, let's play Smash, let's play this, let's play. Then it's never let's get together and play Gears of War or
right.
Uncharted
Halo
multiplayer
LAN parties.
or something.
Halo LAN parties.
Yeah,